gone that that blurry. He just looked like a PS1 facial graphic.
So hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Nano Pulp. Before we get into it, first of all, I want to say a massive shout out to our current subscribers. Thank you for coming back, thank you for all the likes, all the comments you give us, they're absolutely brilliant. And also a massive shout out to any of you guys want to join on. You know, if you like the content, you want to see more videos, like and subscribe to the channel, that would mean an awful lot to us. Xbox, you know, Bethesda, they've taken over Bethesda as part of Xbox Studios. They talked about some of the ideas they want to do. They had that conference a couple of days ago where they talked about some of the, a little bit vaguely, but some of the plans going forward. What does that mean to you?
A bit of worry. The acquisition of Bethesda being, you know, such a key big thing, you know, it puts Sony fans on a back foot and kind of worrying about what they're going to be able to have on their PS5s, me included. Obviously, there's not a lot of detail, as you said, at the moment, but definitely plans for the future. It looks like they're moving themselves into a next-gen arena.
Yeah, very much so. I completely agree with you. And to be honest, it's kind of, you know, good on them really as well. You know, if they're going to spend that sort of money, then, you know, if they want to have exclusives, that's completely up to them to do, and rightly so. You know, it's I've seen some of the comments where people have been a little bit anti-Xbox for doing something like that. Yet, you know, if you're an Xbox individual and that's all you play, you'll be sat across looking at PlayStation, going, "Oh, look at God of War, wish I could play that. Look at Days Gone, look at Uncharted. You know,
yeah, exactly.
I can't play them and I can't play them." So. You know, it swings around about. PlayStation's got their games they want to keep exclusive, and Xbox is entitled to do the same thing. Something that Jim Ryan has been talking about, which is he believes in organic growth with PlayStation, how he acquires his studios and something like games, things like that. Xbox had a different approach, which is spending, I think, was it 7.58 billion on Bethesda.
It was enough.
It was, yeah, just some small change.
It was some, back pocket change from Xbox there.
But what was your take on that? What's your view on the different approaches? Do you think one's better than the other? Do you think that they're both equally as good? I mean, how would you look at it?
The way I see it currently, Sony is very much old school in their approach to these things. You look at what they've said so far, and really there's not a lot in the terms of a streaming service. We have PlayStation Now, obviously, which I know you have, Kit, but it looks like at the moment, without much news obviously being out there, Sony are sticking to the £70 per game, buy them on disc, buy them on store, whatever, but each game as you want them. And then you have Xbox that are almost going for that, and I think it's been said before, like a Netflix streaming service of gaming in the near, not too distant future, where you will just pay monthly and get, you know, new games and new content. I'm concerned for Sony. I'm concerned for Sony because if they don't keep up and keep with the times, I mean, it's going to be a very expensive venture to be with Sony if you're having to spend £70 a time on a game. And say Xbox charge you £100 a month for this subscription service they might do. If you're buying 2 or 3 games a year, 2 or 3 games a month, you're saving so much money.
One of the questions, or something we spoke about, Dan, yesterday I believe it was, is I was talking about obviously the exclusives, and if Xbox was going to have their exclusives from Bethesda, what would they be?
Something that Bethesda brings out is going to go exclusive with Xbox, all right? Something is, or multiple things are, and someone in the PlayStation fan base is going to get affected by that in a big way. You know, if it's Skyrim fans. If it's Starfield, it'll be Starfield fans. If it's Doom fans, and so on. So it's hard. Someone is going to get impacted always more than someone else. But, you know, I am concerned that the big franchise titles such as Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and maybe even Starfield, which obviously new IP, if they make those exclusive, then we're in trouble as PlayStation owners. The other way it could be played, though, and I wanted to bring us up as see what you think. is when we say exclusive, I mean, interestingly, things like Days Gone are actually coming to PC now. They are due to come out this year. So exclusives don't always seem to be exclusive anymore after a certain period of time. Do you think Xbox could do something where, say, an Elder Scrolls would come out and then a year later it is accessible on PlayStation?
Well, purely, I mean, yes. It is the quickest answer. If you imagine from a business pitch of like, you can have Xbox and go, oh, we'll give you Rage 2 for your God of War. PlayStation will be like, well, no, thanks, I think we've got the better end of the deal.
F off.
Where there's another argument point is that Elder Scrolls, Xbox went, we're going to keep Elder Scrolls now, and it's going to stay as an Xbox. That's a lot of PlayStation fans.
Yeah.
They'll go, oh, now do I want to jump into their ecosystem? Because don't forget, it's on Game Pass. You can be PC, whatever. So is that when PlayStation turns around and goes, let's negotiate?
Yeah.
Do you want one of these, your God of War, for example, for an Elder Scrolls? Xbox might turn around and go, no comparison. Elder Scrolls is better than God of War. Do you turn around and go, do you want God of War and do you want Uncharted?
We'll pay you.
You know, yeah, we'll give you a free tour of the studio. Yay. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe those sort of deals come along, maybe. I don't know if there's a rule that you can't do that. I'm not too sure. But for me, PlayStation or Sony Entertainment Studios, does not have an Elder Scrolls type of game. Now, somebody, I'm not going to mention it, turned around and said, but we have Demon Souls. I'm sorry, great as game as Demon Souls is, they're not on par. We were talking about first-person shooters. I don't think we've got a PlayStation. I know we used to have Killzone and stuff like that, and put me in the comments if I'm wrong, guys, but we don't seem to have a PlayStation-only exclusive first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got Halo already for Xbox, and potentially Doom gets thrown in there as well. So there's room for maybe negotiation of, we're lacking this, do you want this? Xbox does, in all fairness, I think lack a lot of story-driven games. I think that's PlayStation's strongest suit. So you're missing a bit of this, we're missing a bit of that. We're all for the gamers, apparently.
Let's all come together.
You know, yeah, hold hands, dance around a tree and all that good jazz, whatever you want to do. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope all the rest of you guys haven't gone to sleep yet. But on to the next point I want to talk about is a bit of PlayStation news. So Jade Raymond, we touched on that a little bit earlier. She recently left Stadia. I think the studios were shut down by Google. I think they kind of wanted to end that.
Yeah.
So Jade Raymond was out of a job. For you guys who don't know who Jade Raymond is, she was one of the co-developers, co-founders, co-creators of Assassin's Creed. She's done other things like Splinter Cell. So she was involved in Splinter Cell. She's also done the original Watch Dogs, I believe. And if Googling didn't let me down as well, I think she was quite involved in a lot of the Star Wars games with EA.
Yeah. So
she's got a bit of knowledge, 25 years experience in the business. That I know I've got right. Just came out of her own mouth. So 25 years worth of experience in the business.
Yeah.
Her and PlayStation come with a bit of a deal where PlayStation's obviously given her a pot of cash, given her a bit of funding to go set up a studio called Haven. And she's been tasked with developing a PlayStation exclusive IP. No details about it as of yet. And at the time of recording this video, there isn't like a Twitter page or a website or anything. I think there's one that sort of says one's coming soon.
It's definitely exciting news to have a new IP funded by PlayStation as the PS5 comes out. It's going to be basically a solely next-gen IP and a studio that probably will not focus on PS4 and really just focus on moving forward and doing groundbreaking games. So that's exciting, especially at the moment where we don't really have a lot of next gen and there's not a lot of reason to have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series at the moment. It's nice to hear anyway, and exciting. We look forward to that.
So guys, if you're still awake, I hope you enjoyed our conversation we had today. If you want to see more content like that between myself and Dan, these open conversations we have, then put them in the comments below. Also give us your point of view. So, you may agree or disagree with what was said or want to add more additional information. So please do that. Be safe, and we'll see you all again next week.